Rocking up and down California. Where you wanna go, girl, I can show ya. We can hit the bed.
Alright, hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Victor, and this is Across the Tongue. Now, today, I have a very young, talented, and honestly, upcoming artist, and I'm excited to share with you guys. It's Rudy, aka Rudy. Nah, I'm just messing with you. aka 3G. What's up?
What's up, man?
What's up, man? Nice to have you. First of all, I gotta ask you, why 3G?
Why 3G?
Why 3G?
So it's kind of lazy, actually, bro.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of lazy. I was spending some time trying to figure out exactly what I wanted my rap name to be, and then after playing, because my last name is Gallegos, and I'm the third, so then I was just like, 3G. Yeah. It's kind of lazy though. I'll be honest. It's a little
no, but it's smart though.
It's a little bit lazy.
It's smart though. I get you. I get that. So Rudy, you're an upcoming artist who's pursuing his dream to be a rapper. In a time where pursuing your dream might seem a little dangerous, just because like not a lot of people nowadays are really going for that. They're not pursuing their dream, just because to them it might not even seem apprehensible. But I gotta ask you, as someone that's pursuing their dream, I have this discussion topic that I want to run by you. So I saw this interview with Jay-Z, and in this interview he was reflecting upon his younger self when he was barely coming up, and he was basically saying that before, when he would tell his dream to certain people, they would always shut him down, and they would always tell him like, no, you're never gonna make it, it's gonna be too hard. And then he came to realize that they weren't shutting him down because they lacked, they thought he lacked potential. They were shutting him down because they were portraying their fears onto him.
I think I've seen that interview.
You seen that one?
Yeah, I think I've seen that interview. Yeah.
I saw it and I was like, fuck, that's just perfect. But
where he's like, no, you can't do it. He's like, where it's like, it's not that I can't do it. You're saying that because
And it's crazy because if you think about it, it's true. Like when people tell you, when people kind of like, it's like they're giving that advice to you, but unwillingly they're kind of shutting you down. But it's not because they think you lack potential, it's just because like they're scared of it because they can't do it. It's not even in their realm of possibility.
Right.
So honestly, like I did not expect that from Jay-Z. So I was just like, fuck, Jay-Z was giving out this knowledge. But if I'm gonna listen to anybody, it has to be Jay-Z. I feel like he has that charisma. He's been in the game for a long time, so I feel like if there's anybody that...
No, for sure. I feel like he's super business-minded. Like, I definitely agree.
Yeah, like if he would tell you, dude, you gotta jump off a bridge and then you'll be successful, I'll fucking do it. Like, I don't care, bro.
If there's water at the bottom, then yes.
If there's water at the bottom, you're like, I'm not taking that risk.
No,
I'm not taking that risk.
I get what you mean, for sure.
Now, you've just recently performed your first performance. How was it?
It was dope. So actually, my first performance, my first little gig that I had, one of my friends, Gmo, set up. And so he actually went to Bell Gardens High School too. And I personally didn't know him in high school. So he was like a friend of a friend, and we have a lot of mutual friends. Sebastian and Jordan are the first mutual friends that kind of introduced me. Mm-hmm. And Sebastian is a beat producer. Jordan makes music as well. He raps, and Gmo's been climbing up in Bell Gardens too and making a name for himself. And I hadn't known him, but when I came back, I knew Sebastian had been making music, so I linked up with Sebastian, and he told me about Gmo, and he's like, yeah, Gmo's making music too. I'm like, oh, I haven't met this guy or whatever, and then things happened and stuff like that, and basically Gmo. I guess someone dropped out of the show that was going on. So the show was in HP, but someone dropped out of the show that was going on, and he was like, "Hey man, if you want to take the spot to open up for the show," and I was like, "Yeah man, that'd be dope. Like I really appreciate it." So that's kind of how that happened. It was just mutual friends, also from Bell Gardens, and just kind of, just worked out that way.
Were you nervous?
No, I was excited.
You were excited?
I was super excited. So I've been doing open mics pretty frequently. So I don't get too nervous going on stage anymore. And I kind of feel like if you do get... So Tristan Pennywell, he's my girlfriend's uncle, and he actually makes music as well in San Diego. And he kind of told me, I asked him one time before he performed, because I went to watch one of his performances, and I was like, are you nervous? Are you ready? He's like, if I'm nervous about going up there, then this is what I'm not meant to be doing.
Yeah.
Because this is like, he's like, no, I'm ready,
Mm-hmm.
He's excited. It's excitement, not nervousness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's there's like a fine line, I'm sure, but there's a difference. You know what I mean? You're excited, you're ready to go. And so I'm like, yeah, I wasn't nervous, basically.
You weren't nervous?
I was excited. I was super excited.
Damn, that's good, bro. That's good. Honestly, like, that's really good. But something that I've been waiting to ask you is, what is something that you've learned from your college experiences, from that time in college, that kind of like is helping you through this transition through your new journey?
So I think the biggest thing that I think I learned would have to be forming study habits. So basically taking music and breaking it down as though it's like a test, right? And actually like it's a class, and I'm actually trying to figure it out in a very academic way. So basically it's a very scientific approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a genetics major. So basically I'm taking like a very scientific approach to it, right? That's going on, where I'm doing the scientific process where you have an observation, then you have a question, then you test it.
The scientific method.
Yeah. So basically that's what I got from it the most, and how I'm applying my studies in music, right?
Mm-hmm.
So actually just like, there's a lot of trial and error, but then you have different, just basically there's a lot of science going on.
Your mentality already as a scientist already contributed to how you approach music.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly.
That's crazy. That's a true scientist right there.
That's a true scientist, man. That is, bro.
Now, going back to this same journey, do you feel like this is still a dream that you're pursuing, or do you feel like there's still something holding you back a little bit?
So I feel like this is very recently, actually, that I don't think there's anything holding me back anymore. Yeah. So I think that for a while there was a lack of self-confidence that was holding me back, for sure. That kind of I kind of didn't really feel like I was, good enough, or pretty much just good enough, right? Like I've always struggled with not feeling like I'm good enough to do something. That's always been a little struggle of mine. But very recently I've kind of just been starting to change my mentality, and trying to get over that, and trying to understand that, I've put in the work, I've put in the time, and I've been practicing, and I am good enough, you know what I mean? And looking at it in a very positive light, rather than thinking to myself like, oh, what if I'm not good enough? You know what I mean? What if I'm just not good enough? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what was holding me back, for sure. And so I was scared of taking certain steps, because I always felt like, what if I'm not good enough to do it?
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But I've definitely pushed that aside very recently, and I've just been I've been very all in.
And you've mentioned that that's kind of like this barrier that you meet, like that's part of you, basically. Like that's that barrier where you feel like you're not good enough at certain things of your life, not necessarily music.
Yeah, so I mean, music is one thing, and there's just a lot of things that I've definitely felt like I didn't, not only that I'm not good enough, but sometimes I've been awarded things that I feel like I didn't deserve, because I was like, I'm not even good enough for this.
So that mentality is just
but I've always been like success, like I've always been given like really good chances and a lot of opportunities, because people are like, they award me with things, they count on me for a lot of things, but and I didn't really understand for a long time, because I've always had the mentality, for a long time I've had the mentality where I'm just like, why me? I'm not really good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
If that makes any sense, yeah.
I honestly, bro, like I get you. I get that same feeling all the time, and I feel like that's the part where I think we could all relate. Where it's like we always feel like we're some of the things that we get we don't deserve. And that's just part of the negative aspect. I don't know if it's the community. I don't know if it's the environment that we were raised in. But speaking of environment, it does eventually mold us into who we are and who we grow up to be.
Yeah.
What aspects of your environment do you feel like shaped you and also your music?
Shape me and my music. I feel like so I grew up and so I lived all over California. I was.
You're like, I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was born in San Jose. Then I lived in Hollister for a little while, and then I moved to Fresno, and went to Sanger. I was in Sanger for a lot of growing up. Like Fresno was my main grow up time.
Fresno.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then in high school, I actually moved to LA. Then I moved back to Fresno. And then I moved back to LA, and then and then I graduated from Bell Gardens. Then I went to David. So I moved a lot.
Yeah.
Long story short, I moved around a lot, and so and basically I would say that definitely, what that provided for me was a lot of perspective. Right. It provided a lot of perspective on different aspects of life, on people, on how people live, on the differences that people go through, that there's so much
because I know that the lifestyle, especially you mentioned San Jose, the lifestyle up north of the culture is very different.
It's super different. Yeah,
it's super different.
I personally was not I didn't live in the Bay like that for like in terms of like growing up years. My older brother is from the Bay. He grew up in the Bay. He grew up in San Jose. My older brother, and in Fresno, when I would say I grew up in Fresno. Like that was my main grow up area, Sanger in particular, but just the Fresno area, the 559 in general, and it's very rural area relative to the Bay and Los Angeles, and it's a very slower lifestyle. There's a lot less going on, but so that was, but it's crazy. You're right. It's crazy because like the Bay Area, completely different than Central Valley, and completely different than Los Angeles.
Definitely.
Right, and that's all California.
Yeah,
it's just right straight up and down.
It looks like two different, completely worlds. Honestly.
No, for sure.
For sure. I get you. So that perspective is what you gain, basically.
Perspective. Perspective. Man.
That's crazy. I can respect that. That's crazy. You also mentioned how there's certain family members of yours has certain doubts in your dreams. Can you elaborate and maybe tell us why you think they had certain doubts before?
So basically I feel like a lot of the doubts from people who love you and care about you are because they love you and care about you, and they want your success to be definite, like for sure, like a for sure thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And however, pursuing a career in music is not, I believe it's a for sure thing, right? I'm ready. I'm like, I really do believe that this is like what I'm meant to do. But I understand the perspective of others where it's like, that's a very uncertain career path. I'd rather you, because I love you and care about you, I think you should do this instead, and you know what I mean? Follow something that has certainty, where you're gonna get a job, you're gonna get paid, you'll have insurance, you'll have a family, you can have a family and take care of your family, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I think that was a lot of that all the negative talk about what I'm trying to do right now from my family, I think it was in with good heart. You know what I mean? It can put you down though. It can definitely put you down because when there's when people who you love are telling you like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this, or maybe like, this and this and this, right? It can definitely get to you a little bit because
because you feel like they're doubting you. You feel like they're like you're obviously doing what you love, but they would rather you do something that's a little bit more secure, like what they would presume just like a regular job.
Right, exactly. Because this kind of stuff doesn't happen to people from small towns, small rural areas, people from little small Mexican communities. You know what I mean? It's like that doesn't happen. That kind of success doesn't really happen for these kind of people.
Yeah.
Right. So as you look at and even though it's family and you love your family and you believe in your family, you're like that doesn't really happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least not for anyone around us. Like no one around us has ever experienced that type of success. So they kind of begin to doubt whether or not.
And not to mention, like, since a lot of the community around here is Hispanic, all they want is just a better life through a secure job.
Security.
Yeah.
Basically, having security. That's definitely an important aspect in the community.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just kind of curious. What is the common thing that people respond to you when you tell them like, "Hey, bro, I want to be a rapper"? Like, what's the common like?
Bro, it's crazy, man. So usually what happens? The usual conversation is like, I introduce myself, and then we start talking. And they're like, oh, this and this and this. Oh, you went to UC Davis, right? And then you got a degree in genetics. Oh, okay, what are you trying to do? I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a rapper, right? And then they're like, oh, it comes out of nowhere, right? Yeah. It's like hits them sideways. But I would say it definitely hits them sideways. But then I think that once I explain to them exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing, it makes sense. I think to anybody who really sits down and anyone who's gone through life anyways and really sits down and understands what I'm trying to do and why I'm doing it, or what I'm gonna do, I guess, and what I am doing and why I'm doing it, it does make sense, I think. Yeah. And it's basically regret. You know what I mean? You don't want to go through your walk of life and not regret having not done something that you love doing. You know
Definitely.
What I mean? Yeah. And I think everyone can relate to that who has gone through life. You know what I mean? Who has experienced regret. That they're like, you know what, that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even though a lot of people might disagree with, following your dreams, becoming like a rapper, ultimately, they might, because for them, it's unfathomable, but they might regret their life. Whereas you're basically going all out and you're living your life. You're doing the best that you could, and yeah, like honestly, I do really respect.
Yeah,
that.
bro. I feel like if you put your best foot forward and you try your best, if you try your best at something and you don't succeed, then you can't really like be mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You tried your best. You did 100%. You did everything you could. If you half-ass things, then yeah, you can.
You're gonna be like, fuck, I should have.
It's gonna be a little bit different.
A little push, I could have gotten that fucking
because you didn't go all in, right?
Yeah.
But if you go all in and you try your best and you're not successful at what you put 100% effort in, you know what I mean?
You mentioned earlier your lack of confidence. Do you feel like it was, looking back at it and being retrospective, do you feel like maybe it was because you feel like you weren't putting it all in and you felt like you weren't comfortable, like you didn't put all the effort you had, or all the time and you had, or all the energy that you had?
That's possible, bro. I haven't thought of. I don't know. I haven't looked at it that way. I definitely haven't looked at it that way. But I think that now that you say that, it is possible that in things that I've pursued, I haven't been all in, and I haven't put 100% of my energy and my effort and just like really been committed. And yet people still give me like praise or like award me or whatever it might be, and count on me for it and believe that I'm the person to do it. And I feel like I haven't gone all in on it. How are you gonna you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that might be it. That's definitely something to think about, man. I don't know. I haven't thought about that.
I gave you some homework to do.
You gave me some homework, man. I'm gonna sit down and stay up all night thinking about it, bro.
You're gonna message me, hey, bro, you fucked me up. I can't sleep.
I can't sleep, man.
There have been, I'm going to go on to the next one. There have been many rap beefs in rap history.
Right.
Some of the more noticeable and more recent ones are like Tory Lanez and Joyner Lucas. Drake, who the fuck doesn't he have beef with?
Right.
Pusha T and Meek Mill. Do you think, as a fan, do you think that this kind of does a disservice to the entire culture, or does it benefit from it? Because, like, I personally feel like it depends on the beef. If they're going too personal, it might alienate some people. It might push some fans away.
Right.
But if it's like,
I think that it depends on why you're doing the beef. It's like if the beef is for like clout and kind of just for attention and kind of just to get for clout, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Then it's kind of. Man, that's a hard question, because I feel like if it's for clout, then there's no solid ground to have the beef. But I think that those are I don't think that I don't think we should be beefing with others in general.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's for a cloud thing, then it's like it's a marketing strategy, and it's like trying to be smart with your marketing.
Yeah.
You know, but and if it's not for cloud, if it's something personal, if it's like something like, you know, because if you know, it's like beefing with someone in just like in real life right there, and just kind of, you know, you're getting upset with someone else, and
You're basically
you're if you're truly in a beef with someone and you're upset with someone like straight, like right in front of you, you know what I mean? Then you're not gonna hold back what you say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's like that's why it can be personal, but it's like because it's genuine.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think that
it's the right thing.
I don't think it's the right thing. I don't think it's the right thing. No.
Yeah.
If it's a genuine, like, I don't think I think we should squash beef. You know what I mean? Keep
like
it
on the
A1.
side, like away from the public eye, where it's like things can get messy real quick.
Yeah.
And perfect example, Drake, that shit got fucking messy real quick. But
Bro. Yes.
that shit got fucking messy. So speaking of the rap culture, you know, we're already on this topic. There's a lot of new waves coming up. You know, one that I could think of is just the expansion of rap. I feel like rap nowadays and hip hop has been expanding to other cultures and other ethnicities, where a couple years ago it might have only been seen as like a Western thing or a United States thing. You know?
Okay, like internationally.
Yeah, it's been more international. Okay. What do you feel about this like rapid expansion of rap that it's gone internationally and it's more accepted now into the mainstream kind of? What do you feel about that?
I feel like I think it's something to be. Damn, that's a hard question. I don't know. Like, I feel okay. So I think, first and foremost, like rap started within like the African American communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And African Americans, and then it switched, and then it started encompassing more people.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in the sense that basically, in general, it's not even just internationally, but it's been expanding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To other minorities, other people, it's been expanding. You know what I mean? So, because of that, I guess, I don't know. It's a good question. Because I mean, like, for example, if it didn't expand, you know, then like
I
wouldn't feel comfortable like rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not black.
Uh-huh.
And so because of that, it's like, well, if it didn't expand from like the black community right here, and then I wouldn't be rapping right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
And so
because you wouldn't have that opportunity to.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that it's still kind of yeah, exactly, man. So it's a form. I think of it as a form of expression, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about how I feel. I'm expressing myself. I'm putting myself out there and what I've been through and my beliefs.
And how you're more comfortable doing.
Exactly. So I think that if people want to rap, they can rap.
They can rap.
Yeah, I think that if someone wants to rap something, then they can rap. But I think that you have to make sure that you stay true to who you are,
mm-hmm.
which can be hard because a lot of if mainstream rap is not who you are, you're gonna follow what you see, and you're not gonna express, like, you're just following. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're just following.
You're not actually part of that situation,
and then it might become kind of disrespectful to the actual like.
Whatever it is that's going on, exactly.
Yeah.
Whatever culture exactly, bro. Exactly. It's going to become disrespectful to this culture because you're trying to imitate that culture, but that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can still express yourself in however kind of music you want, right? Including rap, but you're trying to imitate this culture now, and that's not you.
That's not you, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably what I would say.
Do you feel maybe fear is the wrong word, but do you feel some fear because honestly, there's not a lot of Hispanics in rap. You know, it's like you said, it's mainly an African American thing. It's mainly like just that cultural thing. So do you kind of feel maybe some kind of fear, maybe some kind of intimidation by kind of like rapping and staying in hip hop, or do you feel like do you feel okay because that's really like you feel that inside? That's really how you feel to express yourself and everything.
I definitely feel like there's not too many Hispanics or Latin Americans in rap, or I think there's a box, right? There's you have reggaeton, you have a certain type of rap that Latin Americans, you know the sound. Like I don't know the name of the genre. I guess reggaeton's in Spanish, but then you have in English, and a lot of Latin Americans and Hispanics rap a particular way. Yeah. And there's a box. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And they have to rap like that. Otherwise, like you're not like, you know what I mean?
Like you're not following the rules.
Right. You're not following the rules. So I definitely think there is definitely a box going on, and so I don't feel afraid to be out of the box because that's not how I rap. That's personally not. Mm-hmm. So no, I don't feel that way because I personally haven't met anyone who's been like, yo, you're not allowed to rap or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so because maybe they just haven't said that to me, but I'm like, I'm gonna rap if I want to rap. Like that's just, I'm expressing myself. And
definitely.
I can do what I want to do, dude. Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
As long as you're not being disrespectful to the culture. As long as you're not being
disrespectful to the culture, like, what does it matter if I do something? What do you care?
Exactly.
What do you care if I'm doing something?
Exactly. Speaking of culture and music, I am a firm believer that music is a form of expression, right? Mm-hmm. You get to express yourself. You kind of get to let your voice be heard. In different genres represent the different techniques. How has writing music helped you present your voice or find your voice?
Bro, so much, man.
So much?
So much. I feel like I've recently started to realize it so much. So okay. So for me, I'm relatively reserved person. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm a relatively reserved person. And just because I don't
feel that right here. I feel that.
And so just because I don't talk a lot, and just because I don't talk a lot, right? It's like, it doesn't mean that I don't have anything to say. It doesn't mean that I'm not feeling a certain way. It doesn't mean that I'm, you know what I mean? And so by writing recently, I very much realized that by writing, I'm saying like, how I feel, and kind of just what I've been through. I'm telling my story, even if you maybe haven't seen my story, you don't know that part, right, of my life or whatever, then I'm writing it, I'm putting it down on paper, and I'm like letting others see it, right?
Yeah.
Which is so yeah, no, I've definitely put that down because
it's like an outlet for you to express yourself. It's an outlet,
bro, yeah.
Where you feel comfortable doing so.
Comfortable talking my mind and saying how just everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I've been through, what other people who are close to me have been through. How I feel about certain situations, and just having fun, just enjoying myself, and just it's a definite outlet. And
well, do you feel that you're expressing yourself through music, you're kind of showing some sensibility? Do you feel that kind of rap gets this misconception that it can't be sensitive, that it can't be open, that it has to strictly be hoes, money, all that shit, and you can't like express yourself and stuff?
I definitely do, man.
You do feel that?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like sometimes I'll be writing something and I'll be like, it's kind of soft, bro. Like,
you yourself would think that?
Yeah. I'll be writing something and I'll be like, man, the song's a little soft, bro.
I gotta add some fucking.
Yeah, I gotta add something different, put a twist on it so it doesn't sound soft or whatever. And it's because those songs in particular are like super just like deep, like just how I'm feeling 100%, right? And then it,
So like, is it like a mix?
It's a mix, man, because I haven't really. Like, so I just put out 5 songs on Spotify, and literally none of those songs are about love or about like a relationship with a female or nothing like that, right? And it's 100%. There's parts of it, that I'm talking about. I'm talking to a specific female. I'm talking to a female or whatever, and it's like there's parts of it of the song, but not the whole song. And then I think I realized that part of it's just because it's like, that sounds kind of soft. Like when you write a whole song about like a relationship with the female, it's like, yeah, it's great. So there's definitely that pressure too on me that when I'm writing and I have to sit down and be like, you know, I haven't heard any other artists talk about this, you know what I mean? Like this, and I kind of feel like maybe it's not meant for me to talk. I mean, I can't be talking about that, you know what I mean?
What, the sensitive stuff?
The sensitive stuff. Yeah. Or maybe it won't be received very well, you know? So, but...
Would you like to feel comfortable? Would you like to be a point where you feel comfortable rapping, but being more... Because it feels like you do. It feels like you want to be open, but you kind of feel this constraint by the rap rules that it has to have some kind of like... I don't want to sound old or anything, but like profanity or like some kind of
old, huh? Yeah. So I think that me getting around that, right? So what I've been doing a lot of is just like talking about, you know, how I grew up, and so by talking about how I grew up, I'm able to talk about like all the you know, just like everything that I've been through just growing up, that's like not soft. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so. Like, and college changes your perspective, bro. Like college is like, you know, you start like going to college. I'm like, yo, like you have to be sensitive, you know, or you have to be not sensitive, but you have to be understanding of others. You have to you have to be sensitive to others, and you know, you can speak your mind, but you know, sometimes when you speak your mind to certain people, it's like, you know, they'll get upset about it. Yeah. And so that definitely put me back in a weird spot where I was kind of just trying to balance two different cultures that are like. You know, one place you're over here, you know, you're not. It was just, yeah. But I do definitely want to be not sensitive, but just open up more. You know, about how I, 100%, just how I feel. Talk about certain emotions that you don't hear in songs because they're seen as like soft.
And then,
know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you feel like now you get a better like understanding and better understanding of like when artists do that? Because I know there's like a couple artists that do express their feelings a lot, and then the fans feel that, and they create
for sure.
They create a connection with them.
Have you listened to NF, man?
NF, yeah, a couple times.
He just dropped an album, and so like NF is super. He's my go-to when I want to remember, like, you know, it's okay to talk about like, you know, things that you're feeling rather than just things that you're doing. You know what I mean? There's things that, yeah, that's the good way to say it. He's a good example of
expressing yourself.
You can talk about, he talks about things that he's feeling rather than things that he's doing. And things that you're doing is like out here, you know what I mean? You can have a wall, you don't have to show your heart or whatever, and you just kind of like you're rapping about, you're talking about things that you're doing. Yeah. Right? Which can be anything. But then while you're doing it, you don't see what's going on in your head. You don't see what's going on in your heart. You don't know you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there an artist you've literally... So you said that it was NF.
For that, you have that connection. For that, yeah.
You
sure.
feel him.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes you look up to him and you're like, fuck, like, I should probably I should probably do this in my next song, or I should, like, do you kind of look for him as inspiration for your songs?
I look to him as inspiration for my songs. Yeah, I think so. I think that I look to him when I'm writing something, and then I like look at it. I'm like, yo, like, can I talk about this? You know what I mean? Can I talk about this to the world, kind of thing? Like, and then I listen to a lot of other artists that I listen to, I don't really hear them talk about it. And then, but if I listen to NF, I'm like, dude, this guy's talking about it, and he's successful, and you know, and people I think appreciate. Like when I listen to him, I get in my feel, you know what I mean?
Yeah, your feelings,
my feels, bro. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I think it helps put me back, and I'm like, you know what, I can talk about it. I haven't put out any of that music yet. I'm still working on some of the songs because I just started feeling like I can. But no, for sure.
So you still feel some kind of fear of being too comfortable, or being too vulnerable, and showing that out there to the public?
No. So I feel like I'm working on those songs. I haven't put them out yet.
You haven't put them out yet?
But they're exclusive. They're in the works though. They're definitely. I have quite a few songs that are newer that I'm working on right now, and just they're more personal. Yeah. And I think that's how you talk to someone. That's really, you write so much better when it's personal, because it's like you're telling your story, and it's easier to just like put it right there. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah, thanks, Rudy, for coming out here, having some time with us, sitting down, and actually like getting to know you a little bit more.
Yeah, I super appreciate it, and yeah.
Plug in your socials. Plug in your new album, your new songs.
All right, real quick plug. You ready for this? So I just dropped 5 songs on Spotify. You can find me at 3G on Spotify. It's called Summer Check-In is the album or the EP. Instagram, SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, everything. That Kid 3G is how you can, at that Kid 3G. That's the handle. And yeah, that's my plug.
Make sure to guys follow him, because if you do, then you could brag to your friends that you knew him before he blew up. So
that's
there you
true.
go.
You're gonna be there for the come up.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure.
So thank you guys for watching. This has been Across the Tongue, and signing off. Boom.
Been up and down California, where you wanna go, girl?